You never tell a baton survivor you surrendered. You say, we were surrendered. They were ready to, my dad always said, we were ready to fight to the last man. So they were courageous. I've lived, raised by my father, heard all of his war stories, heard his pain, his suffering, what went on in the Bataan March, and then as a POW, and everything he had to go through, and the beatings, facing a firing squad. Some of the kids, like me, they were beat up by their dads because they still had that pain of being abused themselves. Whereas I'm so fortunate, my father, I wish you could have met him. He never laid a finger on me, ever. The New Mexico National Guard Museum, it's now the New Mexico Military Museum, was established by the Bataan veterans from the Pacific. And so I took Dad there for many, many years when he was alive. And I always saw that flag hanging there. And I feel very bad because I never asked Dad about it. We'd look at it and he'd look at it. He never said a word, and I never asked him anything about it. So after he passed away, I was at the museum one time, and I just started looking at it more closely. And I thought, that says something. Somebody is saying something in that flag, and I got curious. And so then I said, we ought to try to get that flag back to Japan. That's where it belongs. It was just this sense I had. It was just, I just felt it and I knew it. Maybe it was that spiritual connection, or it didn't belong to us. I didn't want to do it myself because it wasn't about me. So that's when I contacted Jan and our organization, and I said, why don't we as descendants get a partnership together? And so we talked to General Nava, and he said, absolutely. And here he is, he's the leader of our New Mexico National Guard military, and he's open. When you all came to Santa Fe to accept the flag and then take it and begin to do the research. And to my amazement, when the guard escort walked into the auditorium with the flag, everybody stood. The guard detail will now proceed to bring the flag to the stage. The detail will now prepare the flag to present. I was like, it was out of respect. How in the world does that happen? It was a beautiful gesture. I was really, really surprised. Very, very pleasantly surprised. The detail will now present the flag to Major General Nava and Jan Thompson. And it's also significant because you know how important it is when Americans' remains are returned to the United States. I mean, that is a national event. So I'm taking part in returning the remains of this soldier back to his country. How powerful is that? But then to go the next step and say, It's time to reach out to the real people that were on the other side of that battle. I mean, my gosh, I am humbled to be able to do something like that, because that really signifies we're making peace. We have to come to that time. There comes a time when, yes, our fathers suffered tremendously. Yes, as a family, we suffered a lot of ups and downs. But there comes that time where you really have to come to grips with it and know that there's the power of forgiveness. There's the power of forgiving others who really didn't have a lot to do with it. They were the kids in Japan. The descendants were just as innocent as we are. So I think that's one thing I would want to talk about. But I do also want to talk about returning the remains, because that's so important. We know how important that is. And we're not only returning a flag to the family, but returning the flag to the country of Japan. That's very powerful and important to do.